This is the golden extremity of yours, because without it, you cannot do your job. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Geselle and today I'm bringing you an unboxing video. This video is going to be me opening some Minnie Mouse ears that my boyfriend so amazingly got me. Thank you, babe. I actually wanted to get these other special ears that went live last Friday. One of these designer ears, and they were like rainbow colored, but he went on at 7 a.m. and at 7:03 they sold out. Now I had asked him to get them for me because I had to sleep from a prior graveyard shift, and he offered to try to get them, but it's okay. They didn't get them, but to my surprise, he ended up getting 3 more. Like, what? So today I'm going to unbox these ears, show them to you. He showed me a glimpse of them, but I haven't opened the box yet. So we're going to do that. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to answer your guys' questions that are in the comment section. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I talk about ultrasound and I love Disney. I would be taking you to Disneyland, but unfortunately we know why we can't go. So if you are interested, I have a ton of old Disney vlogs on my channel that you guys could check out if you need some Disney magic in your life. But other than that, we're going to jump into this video, check out these ears. Oh, I'm so excited, and answer your questions. So with all of that being said, let's get started. Check out this box. I don't know why it's so big. Like, it's humongous. Like, it's so big. Okay, so the first question is, do you always work alone? In ultrasound, you learn everything pretty much in clinical and lab. You take these classes to understand the pathology of stuff, but it's not all gonna make sense until you're actually scanning these patients and seeing things for yourself. For example, they're going to teach you about a kidney cyst. Well, when you scan a patient and you see that kidney cyst, you've learned about it before, but unless somebody like tells you or you know about the kidney cyst, when you first see it, you're going to be kind of confused. And the reason why I bring this up is because you scan these patients alone. You are the single-handed person who's going to be scanning this patient. Your job is solely you doing it alone, right? But if you work at a hospital or an outpatient place, most of the time you'll have multiple rooms, multiple machines. So for example, we have about 4 to 5 techs in a day at my hospital, and at night there's always at least 2 people. There might be like an hour and a half-ish where you're alone, but most of the time you will have other coworkers and other ultrasound techs with you. Well, oh my gosh. So depending where you work, your job is actually done on your own, but working with other people will be a thing. You're gonna have to work with other coworkers, you're gonna have to know who's going to do what, and you're gonna have to speak to other nurses or doctors or other x-ray techs, CAT scan. It's a whole job in itself. You're not really just by yourself, especially if you're in a hospital. You're gonna have lots of people around you. The next question is, how does ultrasound work with your time off? Do you ever have to take work home with you? You go to work, you clock in, you scan your patients, talk to doctors, and you do this multiple times a day. The only reason why you would really take anything home with you, as far as the job goes, could potentially be if you did a hard patient, or if you did a patient where you could have done something better, or if you're being hard on yourself because you could have done something to improve an image that you took earlier. So really the only things you would take home off of work is maybe how you felt during that day. If it was hard, if you were struggling, or if you had a good day. Sometimes you have great days where you catch something that somebody else didn't see, have a patient compliment you, and makes you feel so great that you want to just dance all around because you know you're helping these patients. That's the only reason why I feel like you would take something home. Otherwise, you should do your job the best that you can. Ask people questions, doctors, ask your coworkers if you're confused about something that you saw. You don't really need to do any ultrasound at home, do any paperwork at home. Everything is done when you are at work and when you're clocked in. So what I say is, if you clock out, Leave everything at work. If it's not anything that you really need to deal with at home or outside of work, leave the situation at work. And when you get off, try to relax, because it's already been a stressful day or a hard day, or your body starts to feel some kind of pain. Just know that it's not something like you have to take work home with you and write paperwork and do stuff at home, because you don't really have to do anything at home. So the first pair of ears, they're Mulan ears. This is so cute. Did you guys watch the new Mulan movie? If you did, I want to know what you think, because a lot of people said bad things about it. But you know, you gotta be positive about things and try not to compare things to other things. Obviously, we're all comparing this new Mulan movie to the original movie, but come on. We all know and love Mulan. Like, you've got to give it props. And you've got to give these Asian actors props, man. This movie was great. This is so cute. It's got the little fan. Does this say loyal, brave, and true? I don't know, because you know how like in the movie they say loyal, brave, and true? It's so cute. I love the colors. They pop out really well. I'm totally gonna wear these to Chinese New Year. Usually we go to the parks for Chinese New Year, and they do a whole thing for like Mulan over there in Pixar Pier. All right, next question. Do you have any tips for school? Usually tips for school are usually gonna be the same, but when it comes to ultrasound and what I have experienced in the past, honestly, I would say time management is very important, and balancing, you know, your work schedule, your life schedule, your school schedule, making sure you're organized. I loved my planner schedule, when you're going to have class, when you're going to allow time to study, when you're going to have free time to just relax or watch The Bachelor or play Animal Crossing. You need to be organized and make sure that, hey, if it's time to study, you study. Hey, if it's time to relax, don't even think about school. You need to also make sure that you have a group of friends that you can study with. Even if they're not doing ultrasound with you, study with them. If they're studying like chemistry, or if they're studying like history of rock and roll, literally I would just want to be around people so that I can be motivated, because they are also studying too. Make sure you find a study group. Make sure you manage your time well. Studying was really hard for me, but I made it somehow. So totally just take your time, don't give up, keep pushing. And if you really need help, there are so many sources online that will help you with how to study and how to focus on your material. You don't want to be burnt out with all the information that you're going to get in school, because there is a ton of information that you're going to learn in school. So make sure you set aside time for every little subject, and you focus on each subject by itself, one-on-one. Don't try to do everything all at once. So if you're studying for anatomy, just study for anatomy that day. Or if you're studying for math, focus on that another day. You don't want to just put everything in your head at once and you'll feel too much pressure, or like you can't handle it. Definitely manage your time and have some friends to help you go through it. Okay, what? So I've never had ears like this. Thank you, babe. This is, I believe, from the new attraction that's in Disney World. I mean, it's got a train on it. I need to see what it's actually called. There's this new attraction in Disney World that we were supposed to ride when we were going to go to Disney World 2 weeks ago. Let me see what it's called. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. That is hard to say. Okay, somebody say that 5 times. Runaway Railway. Runaway Railway. Okay, yeah. Runaway Railway. Yep. I've never had an attraction ear until Babes got me It's a Small World. He got me that one, but this is my first Disney World attraction ear. Look at that detail. Look at that train. Got Minnie. Is she upside down? And Mickey. So cute. I love it. I'm gonna wear it when we go to Disney World. Super cute. Thank you, babe. Wow. So cute. The next question is, how do you get a job as a per diem? As you know, per diem is going to be like an as needed job, and it's not necessarily a full-time job, not necessarily a part-time job, because you're only working as needed. So your hours are going to be different. You don't know when you're going to work. Like, it's not a set schedule. They'll give you a schedule, but it's not set, because sometimes you can go to work, they'll cut your hours, or sometimes you'll be scheduled, they'll cut your hours, or sometimes you're not scheduled and they'll put you on the schedule. So in order to get a per diem job, when you apply for a job, it's going to offer you a position. This position's for per diem. this position's for part-time, this position is for full-time. It depends on the company you work for and what shift they have available. Pros and cons of per diem: you get to let the company know when you can work and when you are unavailable to work. There are some contracts that you have to ask about. For example, mine, you have to work at least one weekend every 4 weeks in order to keep your job. It really just depends where you work. Per diem is usually a job that you get if they're offering that. And sometimes per diem gets paid a little bit more than a full-time or a part-time shift per hour because of the uncertainty of the type of schedule. Okay, so somebody asked about routine shifts that are at night. So if you're working an overnight shift and it's between the time of 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. So this is usually the time when patients are most likely sleeping. So they're asking, do you wake them up? Do you let them sleep and leave it for the morning? In my opinion, and at my workplace, you should try to do these exams as early as you can in the night, so like before midnight. If you have time, you should attempt and try to do these exams, especially the ones where patients are like in med-surg and they're just waiting to go home the next day. You should try to get these done so that they can go home as early as possible and that you can get that room empty and so another patient can be in that room. If you do have only these types of patients between 12 a.m. and 4 a.m., what I would do is ask the nurse first if it's okay for you to attempt to wake up this patient and try to do the exam. Now, I suggest you should get these patients done because there's a time limit, right? They're gonna discharge these patients. What if this test was the only thing that they needed for them to go home? And if you wait all the way till the morning, now that's just kind of delaying the patient from going home as soon as possible or delaying figuring out the diagnosis for this patient. So you want to try to get it done. But I do understand that, these patients need to sleep. So if the nurse says, no, please don't wake them up, they've been having a hard day, please don't wake them up, then, okay, don't wake them up. If it's a patient where you can't get a hold of the nurse and you actually try to wake up them themselves and they're like, I don't want it done right now, listen to the patient. They don't want it done right now. All you can say is that you tried to do the exam. Usually we'll write a note on the requisition saying that we tried to wake them up or that the nurse said that they shouldn't have this exam done right now. Typically, that's what would happen. Now, I work in a hospital where there is an ICU, intensive care unit. There's a trauma surgical ICU unit. There's a cardiovascular unit, so there's all these different units and some of these patients are ventilated. So you can actually do these patients between 12 a.m. and 4 a.m. because honestly, it doesn't matter what time of day you try to do these patients' exams. In the middle of the night, they're probably the best contenders for you to go get some exams done. We also have a pediatric hospital at my place, so we try to do these pediatric exams at that time too, because babies, you can just go scan babies at any time of the day, really. The point is, you want to try to get these exams done as soon as possible because that's what the doctors are waiting for. The doctors are waiting to see the results, and once they see the results, they can go on to the next step of what they're going to do with these patients. The earlier you get these patients done, the earlier they'll find out their diagnosis, the earlier they'll be able to go home. Always do your best. Sometimes you're going to be able to get patients done at that time, and sometimes you're just not going to be able to get patients done at that time. If you don't have any patients to do during that time, read a book, study, clean the rooms, stock your gel and all your towels. Try to keep moving because you might fall asleep. That's a no-no. You don't want to fall asleep. Okay, this last pair of ears that I'm going to pull out, it's like in a huge box. It's in a huge box inside the huge box. It's a limited release, and I'm pretty sure all of these are limited releases. Box is soft. Soft box. Parks Designer Collection. Limited release. Here we go. Ooh. Oh my goodness. What? Wow. Babe's got me Hipster Mickey Mouse Ear Hat for Adults by Jared Murray. So this is cool. It's Hipster Mickey. Oh, that's so cool. Certificate of Verification designed by Jared Maruyama. You want to see the front? This is the back. It's like a beanie. How cute. Okay, ready? Boom. He got his glasses and everything. Cute. This is the coolest thing ever. Thank you, babe. Let's put it on my head. Does it fit on my head? Look at this hipster dude. Oh my gosh, I love it. Thank you so much, babe. You really did not have to get all of these ears. I just wanted the one limited edition one, and then all of a sudden he goes and gets these 3. What? I love Disney ears. I don't know if you guys saw my collection in my other video. I can't believe I opened all of those ears. That was so fun. I'm glad you guys got to see those ears with me for the first time. Before I go, I'll answer one more question. The last question is asking me to post some videos about workouts at the gym or stretches. I did record a stretch type of video recently, which just has a couple of stretches to show you guys what you can do at home or even at the gym. But to be honest, there's so much you can do to make your body feel so much better after doing ultrasound. A lot of the really easy stretches that you could do right now to improve your wrists and your shoulders are the basic stretches. So one of my favorite ones is this, where you hold your arm straight out, put your palm of your hand here forward, and you pull your fingers towards you because you need to stretch your wrists. So you can do that. You can even do it this way if you want. But really, you want to stretch and move your wrist because you're going to be using your wrist a lot in ultrasound. This is your money maker. This is the golden extremity of yours because without it, you cannot do your job. So make sure you are regularly taking care of your wrists. I know that nowadays we're always on our phones. We're always typing. So just be careful when you use your wrist because the more you use it, honestly, the more damage you're gonna make and the harder it's gonna be in the future and the more pain you're gonna get. I do show some workouts that involve your wrists. You also actually want to work out your forearms. You know, so there's one where you hold a barbell like this and you bring it upwards. That will also help you strengthen your forearms and your wrist. As far as your shoulder goes, you know, I get a lot of pain here. So make sure you stretch your shoulder a lot. My doggy is barking. Stretch your arms. I get a lot of back pain, so I turn. I'll like in between patients. Stretch your back. One of the places that I have a lot of pain in is my left hip, and I realized that that was because of the way that I was standing while scanning. So just make sure that you are standing properly. If you're standing, put all the weight on both feet. Balance them. Don't lean on one, stand all weird and stuff. But honestly, sometimes that's going to be the case because you have patients that are in weird positions. There are sometimes patients who can't get out of a recliner chair, can't get out of their wheelchair, and you're gonna have to do your best to scan these patients. So whole nother ergonomics video coming at you. Just make sure you are stretching your body parts and make sure that you are taking care of yourself, drinking a lot of water, making sure you're getting a lot of sleep because this is a demanding job. This is a job where you're thinking all day. You are using your entire body to get that one good picture on this patient. Truly, just pay attention to the way that you're scanning these patients. Do stretches at home in the morning and at night, and do your best to prevent further injuries. So those of you guys that are in your ultrasound journey, good luck. Please leave a lot more questions in the comments. I'll definitely get back to you. I'll definitely answer them. As far as the SPI and board exam questions go, those are all kind of generalized, like, you know, study, find the time to study, and Edelman. I highly recommend Edelman. But with all of this being said, thank you so much for supporting this channel. I hope you guys enjoyed my unboxing today. Hopefully some of these questions were answered for you. And if you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can get more videos and be notified whenever I post one. I don't have a schedule, unfortunately, because I am per diem and my schedule is everywhere. So I do my best to get you guys some videos. I just want to spread positivity, and I want you guys to know that anything is possible if you put your mind to it. Because honestly, there are so many days, so many years where I thought I couldn't make it, that I was going to fail, that I didn't know what I was going to do. And to this day, I still have some doubts. I still question things. But you know what? Ultrasound is a learning adventure. Continuously learning. There are so many things that I still need to learn and that I'm going to learn. So don't forget to like this video. Stay positive. Be kind to each other. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.